Okay, I didn't expect that many people this morning. All right. Just one sec. All right. Hello. Good morning, everybody. So I'm Fahad, and I'm a developer and some extra screen things. So yeah, I'm Fahad. I'm a developer, or was one, and now I'm an engineering manager. I'm here to talk about my lessons that I've learned as an engineering manager. Here's my QR code. You'll see later if you want to connect with me. Okay, so just a quick background of my story. I started as a grad. I did, typical software development journey. I did development for about 5 years. Then I moved to contracting, where I actually got a lot more technical experience. That meant that I was working with, a lot of like-minded people, and yeah, I was kind of used to working with similar skill developers, and I kind of forgot about what line management bit is. I didn't really do so I did that for a long time, and then basically, after contracting for 10 years and the I-35 issues, I decided to throw in the towel and go back perm. But I got hired as a manager. Uh, so what I'm here to do is just share with you some lessons that I've learned as an engineering manager. First one, the power of one-to-ones. So as a contractor, I never actually had one-to-ones for the last 10 years. And I didn't really know what the point of this was. But the real reason I had to do this was because the line management training said that I should do. So I thought, okay, fine, I should probably comply with that. But I realized actually it was actually more powerful than I thought it would be, because it just built a trust and understanding with the employees. And actually just doing that really, really helped because they get to know you a bit better, and you can get to do these things. But when I started doing them, I didn't really realize how I just used to have chats and not really track any action items. And I've kept forgetting what I'd agreed with the people. So I said, okay, fine, let's start tracking the action items. And I think that was quite useful, because then I could actually realize what I actually had committed to them. Next thing, mentorship. So mentorship is not same as one-to-ones. So I think I had a use case in my team because there was an engineer who wanted to do AI. So he really, really wanted to do that. I thought, let's just help him mentor into this opportunity, because we didn't really have that on a product roadmap. But adding that, actually making some opportunities for him and mentoring how to get that done, really actually helped me to focus on his individual goal. And the impact was that actually we was able to get that incorporated as a product roadmap. So it was a much larger impact than just having a one-to-one. So that's pretty cool. Setting technical direction. So as an engineering manager, you're supposed to kind of set the technical direction for the team. And I think, when you're working with senior engineering developers, you can get into some contentious positions because everybody has their own opinions about things. So you want to kind of try and unify these things together. And the thing I found quite useful was to have regular scheduled meetings where we can actually have the discussion topics and we kind of agree on this topic. So having structured meeting really helped to unify the differing opinions. But once we had agreed, always document the outcomes. So I think these things you can take for granted, but actually when you're in an engineering manager position, these are the things that really, really help. Two things I found really hard. So I'm not sure how many people identify with this. Now try telling this message to your employees, right? Performance reviews. This is one of the hardest things I had to learn to do. Mainly because you actually first have organizational expectations about bell curves. You might have heard about this term, which basically means you have to grade your employees and compare them to each other. And it's a very hard thing to do, because obviously nobody wants, I least of anybody else, want to kind of judge anybody else on their performance, but you're kind of forced to kind of put them into buckets. So you kind of need to be fair, and that's not really quite as easy as it seems. So how you kind of do that? Remember those one-to-ones and action items? That really helped. So having those action items you can bring them together to see, well, how well they've been tracking. And also kind of try and be fair as much as you can. You need to compare with the other levels, but I found it really hard. The other thing was handling difficult conversations, especially around performance. Now, I'm sort of non-confrontational, and that's extremely hard to do. So one of the key things is about addressing performance gaps with clear expectations. That's easier said than done, because sometimes, especially because when you actually a contractor, you realize everybody kind of just does what you need to do, because otherwise your contract doesn't get extended. But as a line manager, you can't just not extend their contract. So because you have to kind of get them to motivate them to kind of do what they need to do. So that's actually pretty hard. And you need to have the confidence, the empathy, and you need to kind of address any conflicts sort of head on. So in summary, it's not all doom and gloom. Got to build the relationship to one-to-ones. You can support your team through mentorship. Collaborate with technical, set a technical vision, and you need to kind of not shy away from difficult conversation. Thanks for listening. I've been told I've got time for one question. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I can't remember the exact words you used, but I think on your first slide you said that the value of one-to-ones was that it builds trust and collaboration, did you say? I'm sorry? Understanding. I have been in organisations where the one-to-ones had the exact opposite effect. And sometimes, as a role as a manager delivering one-to-ones, the problem was that they didn't trust my bosses, no matter what I did. So I'm curious, what do you do to overcome that? Or was it not a problem for you?
So it depends on what level and what kind of seniority you're kind of dealing with. So obviously, there are certain people that could actually cause issues. Obviously, organizational politics, you can't get away from them. I didn't have that specific issue, but I think the issue I had was more about having the right level of frequency with the one-to-ones. Because for senior people, you can get away with actually having fewer touch points. With juniors, you want to do a bit more. I think if I don't really know, I don't really have any advice for this, but I think all I can say is that if you're a manager and you're having one-to-ones with your employees and it's not really kind of having the desired effect, so something's not quite right there. So it could be that either there's some politics that's going on where people don't really want to listen to you, or it could be that maybe you're not doing a great job. I'm not sure about that, but it could be anything, right? But I think at the end of the day, it's a skill I think I've learned. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thanks.